Thank you. And then we'll just come into a seat. I think, Sushi, you said Varun's not joining us tonight. Is that what you said? Yeah, okay. All right, we're going to start in a seat tonight. And, you know, some of us have been on long holidays and some of us haven't practiced for a while. So even though I'll probably offer a bit, just do what feels good in your body. Never, ever feel like you have to force yourself into something that doesn't feel nice. I wouldn't like that at all. So let's start in a seated position, sitting on a block or on the earth, and just sitting up nice and tall, taking a few natural breaths, natural deep breaths here. Closing down the eyes if that feels comfortable. And just starting to connect to your breath, feeling the feeling of the body breathing from the inside. Feeling the lungs inflating as you inhale and softening as you exhale. Never ever forcing or straining the breath, but just settling into the feeling of the breath. We're going to start tonight with a breath called breath of fire. It's Kalabati breath. So as you inhale, you snap the belly button towards the spine on the exhale. So we can start with our arms lifted up. You can spread the fingers wide, fold the thumbs over the palms, and then fold the fingers down. And keeping the arms up, we'll take a big inhale. Exhale through the nose if you can. This breath is done through the nose if you can. If you need to do it through the mouth, that's absolutely fine. And then we'll inhale halfway up through the nose, and then we start on the exhale. Snapping the belly button back towards the spine. So the inhale happens quite naturally, and the exhale is a really pulling back, quite a sharp pulling back of the belly button to the spine. We'll take about 5 more here. So keep going in your own time, your own rhythm of breath. And then after your 5th one, inhale all the way up to the top. Pause at the top for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly exhale the breath all the way out, bringing the hands down to your thighs, blinking open the eyes if they've been closed, and just rotating your shoulders a few times in each direction. And then bringing your hands out in front of you, we'll interlock the fingers, turn the palms inside out, draw the belly button in and really curl the upper back towards the wall behind you. And then on the inhale, we'll just tilt to one side, twisting the hands to the side that you're leaning to, and then come back to center and twist the hands over to the other side. So we're twisting the palms, but we're stretching through the side body. And then inhale, coming up. Let the fingers float towards the back of your back, and then interlock the fingers behind your back. Bring the palms together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then open the heart. See if you can really bring your heart up to the ceiling without straining the neck, by squeezing the shoulder blades together and moving the hands a little bit far away from your back. Take one more inhale here. On the exhale, let's slowly start to fold forward. You can keep the hands bound if it feels okay for you. So you're coming into a variation of your child's pose, but you're still in your seated position. Arms reach up behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then gently let the fingers float apart and bring your hands forward on the mat. So we're still seated, but the rest of our body is in our child's pose. We'll take one inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, start to walk your hands all the way over to the right. If you can interlock your fingers, your top fingers over your bottom fingers, you can definitely do that. And then pull the left hip back towards the left. Take one more breath here. Stay for the exhale. And then gently coming back through center over to the other side. Walking the hands over to the left, interlocking the fingers if that feels nice, and then pulling the right hip back. And just staying within yourself, meeting yourself however you've arrived on the mat today. And feeling gratitude for the fact that you're here, you've shown up. And whether you've practiced a lot or you haven't, it doesn't matter, you're here now. So just thinking about being grateful for that fact. We're gently going to curl our back up towards the ceiling, chin to chest, coming back to a seat. Let's move the block if we're sitting on one and come to sit on our shins. So if it doesn't feel nice in your body to sit on your shins, you definitely don't have to do that. You can have a block underneath your seat. But otherwise, we're going to sit on the shins. We're going to bring our hands to the knees and just do a couple of cat-cows here, seated cat-cows, really opening the heart and then rounding the back towards the ceiling, chin to chest. And just keep moving like this for about 2 or 3 breaths, opening up through the spine. One more. And then exhale, coming back to a seat. So we're going to bring our hands beside our legs. So in between the hip and the knee, we want the hands to be in a position where you can actually round the spine towards the ceiling, draw the belly in and push through the hands, maybe lifting the knees off the ground. Your toes are still on the ground or the tops of your feet are still on the ground. We're going to do 2 more of those. So pushing through the hands, draw the belly in, round the back up, lift the knees up towards the chest. If your knees are feeling light here and you can lean forward and lift the feet up as well, you're welcome to do that. That's an option. But otherwise, just lifting the knees, feeling the belly muscles moving as you do that, and then gently coming back down. Coming back onto all fours, we're going to cross the right knee in front of the left and bring our hips back, but we don't want to sit all the way down. So we're just introducing a little bit of a hip stretch to the left side. So you've got your right knee over your left. You're sort of as if you're going into a child's pose, but you're not bringing your sit bones all the way down to your heels. Take one more breath here. Coming back to all fours, crossing the other way. Left leg in front of right. So squeeze the knees together, push through the hands and bring the hips back. We don't want to sit down. You'll feel the stretch in the right hip. One more inhale here. Stay for the exhale and gently unraveling yourself, coming back to a seat, knees bent in front of you. Your hands can face outwards or you can have them facing towards your hips. We're just going to drop the knees over to the right. And then windscreen through center, feet are quite wide and moving your knees over to the left. That's good. Inhale, coming back through center, over to the right. We're going to pick the right foot up and cross it over the left leg. And just accentuate that stretch through the glute, the left hip. If it feels too strong, you definitely don't have to cross the ankle. You can just be with the legs uncrossed. And then coming back to center, over to the other side. So your variation, crossing the ankle or not, feeling the sensation through the glute or the hip, wherever you're feeling it. And as always, we know we never want to feel pain. It's fine to feel stretching and to feel like we're working hard, but never to the point of pain. So we're going to roll over now onto all fours and just move through maybe 2 or 3 cat-cows. You can close your eyes here and really think about making space in the body as you're moving through your cat-cow. So as you round your back up to the ceiling, think about the vertebrae moving away from each other. And then as you drop your belly down, stretching through the front line of the body, shoulders squeeze together. Let's do one more like that. Come back to your cow. And then coming into a neutral spine on all fours. We're going to tuck the toes under, lift the heels up, downward facing dog. So just finding your downward facing dog here. Let's bend the right knee a lot so that the left heel moves closer to the earth. And then swapping sides. Right heel goes down, left knee bends a lot. Fingers are spread wide. You're pressing away from your hands. Think about wrapping the ribs in towards the belly button and the belly button towards the thigh. And then exhaling, settling into your down dog for a couple of breaths. Remembering to keep a little bend to the knees if you need. Looking good, everyone. Really nice. Think about the chest moving towards the thighs. Sit bones tilt up. So from here, we're going to float onto the balls of our feet. Take tiny little steps towards the front of the mat. Try and keep the legs straighter if you can. And then inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees as you're folding and keep the knees bent now. Inhale to halfway lift, heart open, hips move back. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, looking forward, heart open, hips back. Exhaling to fold. Pressing through both feet, curling yourself up to standing. Sweeping the arms up and out to the side. Let the palms flow together. Exhaling all the way down. One more like that. Fingers brush the earth or the shins. Start to round the back up, chin to chest. Sweeping the arms out and up. Little squeeze of the glutes at the top, maybe a little back bend. Exhaling all the way down. Hands flat to the earth. We're going to step our right foot back, step our left foot back, round our upper back towards the ceiling, squeeze the inner thighs together, the ankles, the legs, draw the pelvic floor in, and then exhale, bending your elbows back, coming into a half push-up. Hold there for a breath, and then slowly lower everything to the ground at the same time. Beautiful. Untucking the toes, fingers come to the outside of the mat. We're going to inhale here to open the heart. Pelvis and tops of your feet on the ground. Exhale to fold. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhaling down. One more. Inhaling on your fingertips here, elbows back if you can. Exhaling down. Hands under the shoulders, tucking the toes, pulling the whole body up in one straight line, or you can have your knees on the mat or not, if you like, yogi's choice. And then bending the knees, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Exhaling to let it go. Inhaling, right leg up. Knee to chest, stepping forward, placing the left knee down, low lunge. Inhale, coming up. So make sure your feet are wide for balance, pressing through the front foot and the shin of the back foot, and then sweep your hands behind your back and clasp them, interlace them like we did at the start of the class. Try and have the palms together if you can by squeezing the shoulder blades together and lifting the hands away from the hips, and then slowly start to straighten the front leg. You can lift the front toes for your half Hanuman. Try and bring your chin towards your big toe. And then inhale, coming back up, bending the front knee. Keep the hands if you can. Opening the heart, really squeezing the left glute. Open through the hip flexor on the left. And then one more. Exhaling, coming into your half Hanuman, your half splits. Maybe this time your chin reaches your big toe. If it does, let me know. Bending through the front knee. We're going to let go of the hands, bring the hands on either side of the front foot, tuck the back toes, pyramid pose. So you can definitely use a block here if you like, or be here for about 3 breaths. Back leg is straight and you've got your back heel on the floor. You can play around with where that back foot is, closer to you or further away. And then gently starting to pour yourself down your leg, taking a couple of breaths here. One more deep inhale together. Stay for the exhale. We're going to start to bend into the front knee a little bit. Move the hands towards the top of the mat. Step into the front foot and see if you can bring a straight back leg to meet your front foot. And then gently coming up into your chair pose. Beautiful. Sitting nice and deep here in your chair. Feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. Sitting back and then a little squeeze of the hips under the body or the sit bones under the body. And then exhaling into a forward fold. Taking a few breaths here. Really bending those knees to rest the belly on the thighs. Let the head, the crown of the head drop towards the floor. That's nice. And really take rest here. Just moving with the breath, feeling the breath on your, inflating your belly, on your thighs, maybe breathing all the way into the back of the lungs as well, the side of the lungs. Exhaling, slowly letting the breath leave the body. One more inhale here. Breathe it away. Inhaling, looking forward. We're going to place our hands to the ground. We're going to step our left foot back, then our right foot back into our plank. Zip everything up through the midline. Press the fingers into the earth, round the back up towards the ceiling. And then elbows back, trying to come down as slowly as you can. Try and see if your whole front body can come down slowly with control, touching the earth at the same time. Beautiful. From there, we're just going to push back up onto all fours, tuck the toes, and find our downward facing dog. Very nice. We're going to lift the left leg up as we move to the other side. Left foot forward, low lunge. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhaling, binding the hands with the other hand on top. The awkward hand, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pulling the hand away. And then exhaling into your half splits, half Hanuman. Inhale, bending. Opening the heart. Exhaling, half Hanuman. Really open the heart forward as the hips go back and the arms go back. And then letting the fingers separate, hands on either side of the front foot. We're going to step into that foot as we lift a straight back leg up and step it forward. Just a variation of what we usually do. Bending up. Floating the hands together, exhaling into your chair pose. So this time in your chair pose, bring your heels to touch and your knees go wide. Really press the heels together as we sit down into a variation of our squat. And then hands forward and to the earth, hips up, heels up, knees into the back of your triceps. You can stay here, but grip the mat and see if you can just float the body forward a little bit. You'll feel the lightness if you do it. Look forward, not down. Maybe tapping one foot and then the other. That may be plenty for today. If you can feel the lightness, maybe both feet float up. It's yogi's choice, as always. So the prep is perfect. Beautiful. From there, gently stepping or floating back into your chaturanga, upward facing dog, or cobra if you prefer. Downward facing dog. Very nice. Walking your hands back towards your feet. Gently chin to chest, rolling up. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhaling, forward fold. So we're going to place our hands well in front of us on the earth. You can bend the knees. Come onto the tippy toes. Press the hands into the earth. Round the upper back. Lean forward and see if you can float the feet towards the hands. It's definitely not easy. So if you end up with your feet on the floor taking little steps, that's perfect as well. So we're walking to the front of the mat, 3 little goes at it. And then gently rounding yourself up. It doesn't matter if you get it the first time or you don't, or if you never get it in 20 years. The thinking about it counts. Starts to create the channels in the body, the channels in the brain. So stepping or floating back, chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Very nice. Take a child's pose anytime you need. Let's inhale the right leg up, knee to chest, stepping forward. Warrior one. So back foot's down this time. We're going to open out into our warrior two. Reverse our warrior two. Turn forward. Come into your warrior three. Lift the back leg up if you can. Otherwise, maybe the back toes tap the earth. And then step forward into your chair pose. From there, we're going to press into the left foot. Stand up, right knee to chest. You can hold the front of the right foot, squeezing it to your chest, or you can come into a figure four. I recommend coming into a figure four because it's heaps of fun. Flex this right foot. Make sure the right knee is heading towards the back of the mat. You can hold onto a wall or a couch or anything if you're feeling like you need some help with your balance. It's fine. And then bring your hands to heart center. So you can stay here, or you can start to bend the standing knee a little bit more and bring your hands down to the earth. If you do that, really wrap the right foot around the left arm. And again, you can stay there, or you can bend a little bit more and rest the right shin on your triceps. So it's your chaturanga arms again. You can stay there, or you can lift the hips, looking forward, floating forward. Maybe tap, tap, tapping the back toe on the earth. And when you've had enough of all that joy, coming up, knee to chest, meeting into Tadasana. So just letting the palms face forward, shoulders down. Gazing internally at the internal landscape, what's going on. If the practice is getting a bit messy, notice how we're feeling about it. But the best thing to do is embrace the mess, embrace getting lost, because it's where we grow. We only ever grow when we're out of our comfort zone. So no judgments, just going with the flow. Bending the knees, sweeping up, arms float together, all the way down, stepping or floating or skipping your chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. You might have come into a child's pose, but we're meeting in downward facing dog and we're moving to the other side. Inhaling, left leg up, knee to chest, stepping forward, warrior one. Exhaling, opening up, warrior two. Reversing our warrior two. We're going to lean over the front leg, arms sweep back behind us. Maybe our big right toe stays on the floor. Maybe we lift it up. We're gazing forward. And then stepping forward into our chair pose, stepping into the right foot, left knee to chest. So find your balance first, squeezing the knee to the chest, flexing that left foot, feeling the weight in the whole of the right leg, grow tall in the right leg, and then come into your four-legged wide eagle. Whoops. Hands to heart center, bending into chair. So your right leg's in chair and your left foot is flexed. Maybe you bring your triceps to your shins. Maybe you reach forward, hips up, you're on the ball of your standing foot, and you bring your shin into your arms, and then wrap your left toes around your right arm. It's exactly like your crow pose. So you're leaning forward. Yes, lovely. You're leaning forward. And maybe you're bending that standing leg a little bit more. Lovely. That's a great effort, everyone. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, gently coming back up to standing, knee to chest. Exhaling into your standing position. Big bend. Inhale, sweeping up. Little back bend here. Exhaling all the way down. Stepping or jumping, coming through a flow to flush all of that out of our system. And then we'll inhale from down dog, right leg up, stepping through, dropping the back knee, back to our low lunge. Exhaling, half Hanuman. Bending into the front knee, left hand under left shoulder, left foot tucks under, easy twist. Coming onto the outside blade of the left foot, Cleopatra. Reaching the top arm to the back, you're on the outside blade of the back foot, the front foot's maybe winging out to the right. Sweeping the right arm up and over. We're going to walk all the way around to the back of the mat, bending into the left leg, right hand under shoulder, easy twist. Left hand down, stepping forward, chair pose. Exhaling, coming up. Very nice, everyone. Folding down. Stepping, floating through a chaturanga, through a vinyasa or not. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last one for the practice. And then inhaling the left leg up. Knee to chest, stepping forward, low lunge. Exhaling, half Hanuman. Inhaling, easy twist. Right hand under shoulder, right toes tuck. Easy twist. Press through the bottom hand to lift up. Roll onto the outside blade of the right foot. Cleopatra. The hips stay up off the earth. And then we're going to bring our left hand round, walk all the way back to the right side of the mat. Find an easy twist there. Left hand down, right arm up, hands down, stepping forward. Bending the legs, sweeping up. Very nice. Exhaling into a chair pose. We're going to sit down a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, until we come all the way down to a seat and lift our legs up to all of our favorite shape, boat pose. So holding the back of the thigh or not, squeezing the knees to the chest or the thighs to the chest. Maybe you're letting go of the legs if you can keep the body upright. Otherwise, holding the back of the thighs. Exhaling, lowering onto the small of the back. Drawing the belly button in. There's a little challenge today, if you like. We're going to try and not use our arms. So bring your arms over your head and roll onto your belly, just using your hips. It's a challenge. Maybe your arms touch the ground. Mine usually do. And then pulling the belly button in, lifting the arms, lifting the legs. And then exhaling, letting all of that go. Very nice. Let's roll back onto our back, just the normal way. We're going to squeeze the knees into the chest. Give them a little rock side to side. And just find a happy baby for a moment, holding onto the outside of the feet or the outside of the ankles. Little rock. Just letting everything settle. And then let's try that once more. Let's bring ourselves up into our boat pose. Anyway, holding your back of your thighs or not. Slowly lowering down onto your lower back, drawing the belly button in, shoulders and legs off the earth. And then arms over the head, try rolling to the other side. Using the hips, try not to use the hands if you can, or the arms. And then exhaling, just lying back down, pressing yourself back onto all fours. We're just going to come into a down dog, lifting the right leg up, bending the knee to the right wrist and finding your pigeon pose. So you find a comfortable shape in your pigeon pose. Your right leg can be parallel, your right heel can be all the way into your left hip. Stay upright for a moment. So you're flexing your right foot, you're walking your left foot back. So it's a little bit of a back bend here. Bring your fingers as close to your shin as you can and really open the heart. Hopefully you'll feel it through your left hip flexor. Take a few breaths here. We want the right foot flexed. We never want any pain in the knee. If there's any discomfort in the knee, coming onto your back and doing a figure four. Maybe you're going to bend your left heel and bring it towards your back. Maybe your left hand's going to reach back and hold onto the front of your left hip, left ankle. If you find that shape, pull the ankle away to lift the heart up, but make sure your sit bones are even on the earth, like both hips even on the earth. And holding that for a couple of breaths, if you've got it. And when you've had enough, gently letting go and coming into your pigeon pose and taking a few breaths there. Very nice. Coming into your pigeon, so your right leg is still across the mat. Yeah. Just try not to sit on one side. Try and make sure that your hips are both in the center. So if you're coming into your pigeon, try not to be sitting on one side like that. Try and walk your body into the center of your knee and your heel. That's it. Yeah, and then just fold forward. Nice. Flex your foot, Sushi. Flex your front foot, yeah, and fold forward. Come down if you can, walking your arms forward. Yeah. Just make sure you're not feeling any pain in your knee, because we just definitely don't want that. Lovely. Letting everything soften there for a breath or two. One more breath in here together. Stay for the exhale. We're gently going to walk our hands back towards our right shin, tuck our left toes, and press ourselves back to our downward facing dog. Maybe we're going to pedal one foot and then the other. And then when we're ready, lifting the left leg up, bringing the knee to the left wrist, swinging the ankle over towards the right, and finding your pigeon pose. So when you're coming into the shape, you want to, if you feel like you're favoring the left hip, Try and move your body through center so that your body's in the center of both your hips. If you find that one of your hips is really high up, you can definitely place a block underneath it. And then walking your fingers back towards your left foot, opening the heart, and feel the back bend here. Taking a few breaths. This is your option if you want to bend the right knee, the right heel towards the right sit bone and reach back with the right hand for the front of the ankle. If you've got it, draw the foot away and it brings you into a little bit more of a back bend. And again, your body's in the middle of your hips. If you're favoring one side or the other, maybe let go of the back leg. If you haven't got the back leg, just walking forward into your forward fold, into your pigeon pose, and taking a few breaths there. So holding the back foot as long as you like, and otherwise gently releasing it, straightening yourself up again so that your body's in the center of both your hips, and then if it's comfortable, walking yourself down. Taking at least 5 breaths here. Letting go of whatever we're holding there in our hips. Taking a few nourishing deep breaths, filling up the whole of the lungs as you inhale. Letting go of something you don't need as you exhale. Two more breaths. So on the next inhale, when you finished your second breath, you can either come through a down dog or you can just lengthen your left leg back and lie down onto your belly softly, gently. And then bringing yourself into a Sphinx pose. So you want your elbows underneath the shoulders, hands and elbows facing the same direction. And then we're going to press through the right hand to lengthen the right elbow, threading the left arm underneath the right arm. And lying our left side of the body down, and then bending the right knee towards the left hand. So the right knee's at a right angle, your left arm's under your right armpit, and then we're going to roll ourselves onto our back. So we've come into a twist a different way. We want to shuffle our shoulders underneath us so that our shoulders are flat on the earth. It doesn't matter if the top knee is lifted, it usually would. You can place a block underneath it if it doesn't feel nice up in the air, but if you're comfortable like that, just think about the body being heavy on the earth, arms stretching out to the side, and just starting to soften here. We'll be here for a good 5 breaths. It's the last shape we're going to do before our Shavasana. So again, filling up the whole torso as you inhale. Gently letting something go as you exhale. Nice. Let's take one more breath here. Stay for the exhale. Start to roll yourself back onto your belly and gently bring yourself out of that shape back into your Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Just straighten up the legs and the hips. You can give your sit bones a little wriggle side to side and then moving into the other side. So pressing through the left hand. We're going to thread the right arm underneath the left armpit and bend the left knee to a right angle. And then start to roll onto your back. Maybe very different one side to the next. So you might be a bit more of a shuffle on one side to get the shoulders to the earth. Not really worrying about where the knee is of the top leg. If you want to support it with a block or anything else, you can, but if it feels quite comfortable, like my knee's quite high up off the earth, that's absolutely fine. We're feeling a nice stretch through the side body and through the top hip. And then just close down the eyes. Soften everything you can towards the earth. Beginning or continuing the journey of surrendering into our Shavasana. So let's take 3 more breaths here. Softening all the facial muscles, the forehead, the jaw, the neck, the breath. And on the next inhale, we're just gently going to roll ourselves onto our back. Just a matter of bringing the left foot over. And then shuffle yourself back onto your mat if you've come off it. Bend the knees and just let the knees knock together. So feet are wide, knees bent. And just taking a breath or two here, letting the spine settle. And then when you're ready, exhaling into your Shavasana. Legs long down the mat. Feet splay out, palms turn up gently. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale to release the practice, release control. Take a few moments of rest in your Shavasana. You definitely earned it. So just let the practice marinate in the body. The body knows exactly what to do. You don't need the mind for this. If the mind becomes active, just bring the attention back to the breath. You can definitely stay longer in Shavasana if you'd like to. Otherwise, if you're ready to come out, just starting to deepen the breath, bring the attention back within the body. Starting to bring movement to the fingers and the toes. And gently, when you're ready, making your way up to a seated shape. Meeting in our seat, we'll inhale the arms up and overhead. Let the palms gently float together. Exhaling into our heart center. Bowing forward towards our heart, towards each other. In gratitude for this amazing little community, for the wonderful practices we have together. From my heart to yours, amazing effort today, everyone. Beautiful practice. Together we say, Namaste.